This might be the moment we look back and say, that was the shift. You have rate cut uncertainty. Trump is now adamant about this $2,000 stimulus promise. Tariffs pushing everyday prices up. AI wiping out jobs. And markets are swinging the pendulum. But here's the twist. Inside of the chaos, that is really when wealth is built. But you gotta let me show you exactly what's happening. And I have one sleeper stock that I'm really buying before this next wave. So before we get in this video, man, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want you to really just comment in the chat and tell us like what you think about this video when I break this down, because there's some things I want us to get into. And so without any further ado, let's get to it. If you feel like the market's been acting confusing, feel like it's been acting irrational, you feel like one day is up, 2 days is down, one day is collapsing, one day you hear about AI bubble, one day you hear the market is doing well, another day you hear a 50-year mortgage, another day you hear AI won't take jobs, another day you hear electricians, plumbers, AC, HVAC, another day you hear this company is cutting 30,000 jobs, 40,000 jobs. If you have been hearing all that and it has been confusing you, don't trip. You're not imagining. This is what happens when we are one decision away. One decision. The December rate cut is really holding the entire market hostage. We've gone from a rate cut is guaranteed to rate cut is about 47%, or maybe nothing at all, because Jerome Powell is being hawkish, and he has every right to be. The market hates uncertainty more than it hates bad news. That's a fact. It hates uncertainty more than it hates bad news. So this week, you're going to see overreactions. You're going to see panic headlines. You're going to see massive spikes that make you think the market coming alive. Then it's going to be followed by some dips. And then too many people are making emotional decisions and they just pressing buttons. But here's the truth that nobody's not saying. Choppy markets create opportunities because most people just freeze. But the smart money knows exactly what it's doing. But even they can be emotional. That's why we look at charts. The reason behind the market's tightening right now, let's just bring it to one thing. NVDA, and put the cherry on top, rate cuts. So let's say two things. But here's why the markets are stressed. And we all know that a stressed market is the best market. If the Fed pauses again, the market bleeds. Liquidity dries up. Businesses pull back. Spending slows down. Earnings shrink. So one pause can really trigger weeks of turbulence. Now, the next thing on top of that is we have tariff pressure. Tariffs don't come from foreign countries. They come from the companies here in America that have to pay to do business with those companies. And then the cost falls on us. This is why we see coffee up 30%. This is why we see gas, grocery, electric bills going up. Retailers like Amazon are rising prices. Walmart rising prices. Walmart even saying we're going on a hiring freeze. So when you hear tariffs will help pay down debt, just know tariffs are actually taxes. And consumers always pay that bill every single time. And so Americans are really under pressure right now. You saw the numbers, yo. Like foreclosures up 20% in 1 month. 37,000 homes hit foreclosures in October alone, up the last 8 months. Debt levels, all-time high. Auto delinquencies, all-time high. Household debt, all-time high. Job cuts accelerating because companies want higher profits. And let me slow that down for you. And let me really say this to you. Companies want higher profits. And so when we hear companies saying things like efficiency, when we hear companies saying things like we want to make sure we are we making room for improvement, just know they're cutting jobs because they're raising prices. And as they raise prices, because of the tariffs, right? Because of the tariffs, they're raising prices. And because they're raising prices, well, they kind of don't see the profits they want because the tariffs are keep hitting them. So the way to offset that is you got to cut people so the profits can keep hitting the bottom line, so the stock don't fall because it's your fault. The stock falls because of the market fall, right? And it's more of a market event than a company event, and companies just learn how to deal with that. And so that's what's happening right now. And it's the exact environment where markets start behaving irrational. Now, here's what I want you to understand. The market oftentimes acts rational, and it just goes up. But then it'll act irrational, and it'll sell you a really perfectly fine asset at a really cheap price. But then because you acting irrational, you can't see that it's a cheap price. You see it as the market is falling. And so here's the next stage of the evolution. Trump posted a message about a $2,000 checks for low and middle class Americans. And the leftover tariff money will go down to paying debt. Now, I think he has good intentions. This is not a political belief at all. This is just me looking at the facts. As an American, I need Donald Trump to succeed. Because when he succeeds, we succeed. I definitely don't want to see him fail. Let me just say that. Because when they fail, we feel it more than they feel it. But I will say this, man, and I said this early on, the tariffs were a really big mistake. Even though you're saying the tariffs bringing in money, that's money that we are paying because these companies have to pay that, and we have to pay that because all these companies are just increasing prices at a staggering rate. Coffee is up 30% right now. All of these things are up, which is why you see Trump cutting these deals, bringing tariffs down. America is in a fragile place right now. American citizens are in a fragile place now. And we're going to get to some stocks that I think are oversold. But I got to let you know how we got here. And because we're in a fragile place, now everything seems like life depends on it. You can feel the uncertainty in the air. But let's just talk about the stimulus math right quick. So in 2021, here's what we know. They had $1,400 stimulus checks going out. That cost $411 billion. Now, in 2026, Trump is saying he's going to put out a $2,000 stimulus check. Well, I think this year so far we've brought in about $23 billion in stimulus. I think we'll bring in like another 40 billion top. So that'll put us somewhere around, I don't know, 280, 270, 280, something like that. So let's just give or take. Tariff revenue this year be somewhere around 300 million, right? Well, 2021, 1,400 cost us 411 billion. At $2,000, I think you probably short about 300 billion because I think it'll cost about $600 billion. And that's before you get to paying out debt. So I'm not saying that the Trump is bad. I'm saying the math don't add up. And if a stimulus goes through, it's likely that groceries prices will go up again. Services will get more expensive. Companies will raise fees. Inflation jumps for a few more months. Because every time you print money, that money comes with a price. But here's the part that most people miss. Stimulus does pump the market in the short term, but the bill always comes later. And if you are positioned, those waves become opportunities, not just setbacks. And because we see the dollar is losing its value, I need you to understand you need to take the fake money, the fiat money to buy real assets because at the end of the day, that's what saves you. Job losses are not random at all. AI isn't taking jobs because companies hate workers. Nope. Companies are always in our competition. That's what the stock market does. The stock market makes companies be in massive competitions. And AI taking jobs because company loves profits. That's right. A CEO has a job, and it's simple. Lower costs, raise profits, keep shareholders happy, and then hope that the customer like the service. When the CEO looks at raising tariffs, and he looks at raising wages, slower consumer spending, that's not a good mix for a CEO. So they do what's natural. They cut jobs just to protect margins. You got to think about it. You got a company like Walmart, the largest employer when it comes to like corporate businesses in America. And they straight up said, every job we have will change because of AI. And then they say we're going to go on the biggest hiring freeze for 3 years. That lets you know this is not just a headline, it's a warning. Now, of course, you know me, I'm not here to put fear in anybody. I'm here to give us the news so we can prepare ourselves. And I think that's what this game is all about. I think we have to go through ups and downs. We have to navigate, but we cannot panic and we cannot fear. We got to embrace what's happening. And so we embrace what happened. When you embrace it, you say, no matter what it is right now, I'm going to stand in the paint because we cannot negotiate the necessary. And the necessary is we got to go through downturns like this so that we can come out on the other side good. Now, I'm not the person to tell you This time is different because we never know when the pin gonna pop. We always know we always one day or one headline away from a recession. That is true. We can't avoid it, yo. And sometimes because they catch us off guard, we take losses that we didn't know we was gonna take. It's okay. Guess what? Prepare yourself. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Put the trips down for a second. The fine dining, put it down for a second. I need you to really focus right now. I need you to take these next few months to close the year. I want you to tell yourselves, yo, I'm not going crazy this Christmas. I'm not going crazy this year for my birthday. I'm not going crazy for Christmas. I am stacking because I see the writings on the wall and I need to be prepared. Because all that extra money, instead of being, I'm about to say something that's going to be really good. Instead of your income being somebody else's profit, you need your income to be what builds your portfolio. Okay, so let's go a little further, y'all, as we get into this. So this week is the perfect storm. We got NVDA earnings Wednesday. We got economic data Thursday. We got markets already stretched. We got rate cuts. The odds of those things are really flipping. And NVIDIA alone can swing the market one way. Why? Well, because it's 8% of the entire index. Now, I'm going to be really, 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 really real with you. The last 4 times NVIDIA reported earnings, what happened? They beat earnings, they beat expectations, they beat revenue, they gave guidance, and even did a buyback. And guess what happened? They didn't beat it enough for Wall Street. So what did Wall Street do the next day after earnings? NVIDIA dropped 2%, 3%. So I want you to understand, yes, everything is inviting on NVIDIA, but you need NVIDIA to have a Kobe 81-point game. That's the type of performance you need for them. Now, NVIDIA did put out that they are anticipating $500 billion in revenue between 2025 and 2026. You need them to show that. I think earning estimates is about 41%. You need them to come in somewhere about 50%, 55%. You're going to need that. You're going to need something like that because you don't know what those Fed numbers are going to be. And once those job numbers come in, man, you're going to need that NVIDIA earnings because they back-to-back. It's Wednesday and Thursday. You're going to need that. So here's what I'm going to tell you. NVIDIA beats, but don't beat big enough, markets fall. NVIDIA misses, market tanks. That's kind of the environment we're in. We need NVIDIA to be a rock star. What I like to say is, I don't want you to be in a position where you counting on one company. I want you to look at it as whatever happened. Y'all know what they say in Rocky. If he dies, he dies. But inside of all of this chaos, there are companies getting hit for no fundamental reasons, but just because they are in a part of a broader market sell-off. And one of the cleanest stories that I see right now is a sleeping giant, Amphenol. Ticker symbol APH. That's right. It makes the components that connects everything. It connects the AI hardware, the data centers, the EVs, the aerospace, the semiconductors, and cloud computing. But that's not it. This is just not a hype stock right here. They're in nearly every advanced device on Earth. But here's what really makes them special. What makes them really special is they have a fundamental story. They have an ROIC of 24.99. Now, before you get into that, let me tell you what that means. ROIC, return on invested capital, tells you how good a company is at returning money back to the company. Or you could say turning $1 into more money. While most companies try to turn $1 into $1.05, maybe. APH turns $1 into $1.25. That's phenomenal. That's elite level right there. If you can get a company with like a 10 ROIC, you good. But to have a 20, that is phenomenal. But even further than that, they have net margins of 18.22. Now, let me explain that to you. For every $1 APH brings in, it keeps 18 cents in profit. That's double, sometimes even triple of what their competitors do. Now, I want you to understand that. The company also has low debt. Now, it means that they don't borrow much to grow, which means in a shaky economy, they survive, they expand, they even buy out weaker companies. And this is the type of company that I like. So in order to show y'all, I actually bought some in the Robinhood account. They're essential for the AI boom, y'all. And we know that AI does not run on magic. And we know we truly are in like the second or third quarter, like Dan I says. I think we have another 2-year run on this. It runs not on magic, not on hope, but it runs on connecting, wiring systems, sensors, and high-speed communication components. That's right, high-speed communication components. So APH builds the physical pieces that the AI world needs to function. They're the type of business that, yep, it won't trend on Twitter, but they will compound for at least 5 to 10 years. If you want a stock that survives the turbulence that we are running into, APH is one of those companies. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. This is me just telling you a company that I'm buying. I already bought it a while back. I put it in my Patreon a while back. But this is a company that I'm buying. This area is truly not an area for you to panic. It is an area for you to have a wealthy mindset, y'all. And if we zoom out just a little bit, here's what we'll see. 2000, 2008, 2020. All made people really, really, really wealthy. So while people were living their lives, not watching for a crash, spending the excess cash, because what? Crashes are never announced. They just hit. And then the news explains it later. And I don't want you to be caught in that. Because the pattern is always really the same, y'all. It really never changes. The people who prepare during uncertainty become wealthy during the rebound. And we're not trying to chase because we always in position. So right now, what do we know? We know that volatility is rising, fear is rising, headlines about how bad it is rising, people's emotions and anxiety is rising. That is a perfect mix for uncertainty. This is the moment where the smart investor prepares. Not when everything is calm, not when the news says all clear, not when the market is at new highs. Recessions don't take wealth. They create wealth. And they position the people who prepared when they saw it coming. Man, I hope you liked this video, man. If you did, man, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Help me get this video to 2,000 likes. I would really, really, really appreciate it. Make sure you comment in the chat and let us know how we helped you in this video. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. I love y'all. Wall Street looks like us now. I'm out.